All right. Well, hello, hello, hello. It's 6 p.m. And so we are here for our webinar for today on off-campus student housing and off-campus students. And so we are just going to give families some time to join. I already see 3 families on Facebook. And so just to remind everybody, we are live on Facebook and we're also here on Zoom. And so as we go about our webinar, if you have any questions that come up, please make sure you post them on the Q&A section or on the comment section on Facebook. And while we wait for more families to join, we're excited to, I'm already seeing families on Facebook and here on Zoom. So we're excited to have everybody here tonight. And it's never too early to start thinking about off-campus housing because time flies and your freshmen will, at some point consider maybe leaving the freshman residence halls or looking for other places to live. And also you may have students who are commuting or are transferring to UAB and not necessarily living on campus. So this is your webinar. This is also for off-campus students and families, and our office hosts both those offices for you. So again, we're going to give families a couple more minutes. And so just to remind you, all of our webinars, you can go back and see them. They're live or they're on Facebook. And so they'll stay on Facebook for as long as they can stay on Facebook, and you can go back and see them. And it's great information that you get a refreshment on. I know that new student orientation provides a lot of very useful information, but sometimes we go back and we can't remember exactly who we needed to call if we had some questions. So the webinars are a great way of doing it. And also don't ever hesitate to call us or to send us an email, families@uab.edu, or just communicate or come by. Remember, we're on the first floor of the Hill Student Center, Suite 140. So welcome everybody again. And so tonight we're delighted to have my coworker, Benmet Tashom, and he is the off-campus student and housing and engagement coordinator. So I'm going to let Benmet guide us through our webinar tonight, and then Q&A section is open for questions. So welcome, Benmet. Thank you for being with us tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. So are we good to get started? I think so. Like
Yeah.
Awesome. Like Carmen said, my name is Bennet Tashom. I serve as the off-campus student engagement coordinator in our off-campus student and family engagement office, where my coworker here is Carmen. So it's cool. We get to work alongside each other as well as kind of in our different paths. So yes, today I'll be talking to you guys about off-campus housing and student engagement. It's a relatively large topic in terms of the population we serve at UAB. However, through this presentation, you'll kind of understand different resources, tools that maybe your incoming student can definitely take advantage of. So we will go ahead and get started. Awesome, awesome. So UAB's population is actually 74% off-campus students. And so that's definitely an overwhelming amount of the overall population. So it definitely comes to show how useful our area is, as well as how much advocacy that this population needs at our university. And so we definitely try to fill those needs and kind of be that guide and advocate for these students. I like to put that number out just to help put it into perspective for a lot of incoming families. And so what our office is typically known for, things that we continue to do and progress in every year are these main 4 things. So one of them is lease review. So we will guide any student that comes in and reaches out to us regarding maybe coming into having a lease or thinking about signing a lease or looking into how to even start the process of off-campus living. And so what that'll entail is you just kind of schedule an appointment, or a lot of students just love to pop in. We have an open door policy, so definitely come in and bring whatever documentation you've been given and you kind of just want some elaboration on, and we can review it. We can help define those big hefty terms that honestly sometimes I have to look up on Google, if I'm being completely honest about. And so, and as well as just expectations as a tenant, and what your rights are, as well as what your landlord will expect of you, as well as the housing fair. This is typically held in the spring semester of our academic year, typically around March, where we'll bring like 30 plus off-campus partners, which are typically just apartment complexes in the area, as well as leasing offices and realty companies. And they'll kind of just table will have a bunch of food and entertainment, and it's a way for students to just have all their resources and options presented to them on campus where it's more convenient for them in between classes. Maybe they have a break between 11 and 1. They can come in, grab some food, maybe grab some pamphlets, and just go ahead and start thinking about that next year and what if they have the interest of living off campus. And as well as our off-campus housing guide. So our new rendition of this guide will come out in the next few weeks. If you're planning on coming to an orientation in the next, I'd say probably mid-July into the rest of the summer, we'll have these new ones in. What it is, it's essentially a guide for everything off campus. As an off-campus student, what things that you might need to use, as well as just numbers that you might want to save in your phone. We have one resource that a lot of our students actually don't know about. It's called Mars. It's a auto assistance program here at UAB. So if an off-campus student's coming in, they're a commuter student, say they run out of gas or they have a flat tire, they can give them a call. They'll come reach out, or they'll come and help you out. They'll bring a tank of gas to get you to the nearest gas station, as well as help you change tire. All these different resources, as well as our safety shuttle and security, and who to call for what. Just because orientation can be very overwhelming, as we know, and it's a lot of information. And obviously, you're not expected to retain everything and remember everything till your student graduates. However, it's nice to have something to refer back to, just because like you might hear something in orientation and remember that that person said that this was in the guide, and you having your guide will be super convenient for those when those needs arise. So definitely recommend grabbing you an off-campus housing guide in there, as well. It also has a bunch of ads and apartment options in the area, as well as workshops. We use these as a way to engage with students in terms of just building character building, building blocks into adulthood. We'll do anything from resume building to leadership skills to or we've even done how to change a tire, it really ranges to anything. And so it's super nice fun, especially with topics like credit building, things that you were kind of expected to know at one point. And it's nice to see these students kind of engage in that way and do something for the benefit of their future. So yeah. And we'll talk a little bit about successful off-campus living. So one of the big things that we do as an office is help students plug into off-campus housing at UAB, regardless of if that is living in an apartment or living with their household or living whatever it is. As long as it's off campus, we would love to support and help. And so this website's a great tool for students that might be interested in living off campus. Maybe not next year, but the year after. I know many of these families are families with freshmen coming in, so they might be living on campus for that first year. But if that day comes and they say they wanna make the move, then I would definitely recommend this be the first stop they take. The off-campus housing website is a great resource for any student, truly not just incoming students. It's a site that is very UAB centric. However, it is powered by apartments.com, and how that works is students, as well as our off-campus partners that we approve, can post on here all their housing options, from maybe just general like vacant apartments through the actual apartment complexes, or if it's a student that's trying to sublease their apartment. You can use it in various forms. However, it's a great tool, especially because it's very UAB centric. You can't get on this unless you have a UAB login, which is just your UAB email and whatever you use to get into your BlazerNet or Canvas. Should be the same exact username and password. And so that's obviously for safety, just so we don't have anyone coming into this website trying to contact students, just because a lot of their information will be on there. So for the safety of the students, it's really nice for it to be very UAB centric. And as I was saying, with the how apartment complexes post on there, you'll see on this right hand side, it says Lumen and Cortland. These are all of our off-campus partners who we approve to post on here. And right here on the map side, you'll see the gray area, which is our UAB campus. And so that's kind of put into perspective, especially for families and students that are not from the Birmingham area, who might not be familiar with where a certain apartment complex is in terms of maybe where their classes are going to be. And so it definitely helps, like I said, to put it into perspective for them, understand how far their commute might be, regardless of if that's a walk or a drive. These are not just apartment complexes in the downtown area. These are also apartment complexes in the Hoover area, Homewood area. It can be anywhere. I think there's a general range, but it's not too far. And so there's definitely a variety of options there, as well as a little filter option, which is great for our students that have certain needs that they want to live next to, or just convenience things. So if you're looking to be close to a grocery store because you know that you might not have a form of transportation, the filter tool is very cool because you'll be able to see how far it is from your from whatever apartment you've selected to live in or house you've selected to live in, as well as coffee shops, fitness, shopping, banks, whatever you need to do, it's all right there. Alongside the housing options, this website's fantastic for roommate finding. So we understand a lot of students find roommates in a variety of forms, regardless if that's a friend that they knew from high school or maybe a Facebook group or a WhatsApp group, variety of ways. However, UAB likes to provide a platform for students to come in and kind of just all be able to use across the board without having to have any certain app. How it works is it's on the same exact website, on the housing website, and you basically just fill in some details like it says, just some personal interest, your name, what you're looking for, maybe if it's like you're looking to live with three people because four might be a little too much for you, or if you're looking to live near campus so you don't have to commute too far. Regardless of what that is, you kind of put it in your roommate profile, and then from there, other students can kind of evaluate and see if this is something that they're interested in pursuing in terms of you as a roommate, or your student as a roommate. So definitely take advantage of this website if your incoming students looking for a roommate or housing in general. The Alabama Tenants Handbook is this is a document that is posted online by like the Alabama Housing Association or something of the sorts. But this is a document that it's valid for all housing in the state of Alabama. But the reason we talk about it is because it's a great reference for students that might be signing a lease or be just in any form of housing where they need to understand what their rights are as a tenant. And so they can refer to this handbook as a way to kind of advocate for themselves, as well as kind of understand when that alarm needs to go off of like what's wrong and what's right with their living situation. And so I definitely recommend every family, every student, anyone that's signing a lease to save this right next to where your lease is, because definitely can refer to back and forth for between those two documents. So yes. And we will also talk about Rent Monster, which is our partner here at UAB, which is a realty kind of brokerage. What they do is you can call them up and tell them what you're looking for in terms of housing, and they will based off of the specific details with how many roommates you're looking for, maybe what your price range is, how far you want to be from campus, and they'll book a lot of tours for you. They'll get you in contact with who you need to be in contact with, kind of cut out a lot of those steps to make it easier on you, because we understand for a lot of our students, this is their first time looking into off-campus housing, and that's a large responsibility and can entail a lot. And so we definitely recommend looking into Rent Monster as kind of a second guide to us, because they definitely they know what they're doing and they are fantastic. And it's also free of charge. They especially as a UAB student, there will be no charge to it all at all. And so definitely recommend that resource as well. And just to elaborate a little bit more on the workshops that we were referring to earlier, so they range from anywhere from like safety on and off campus to credit building, like I said, to resume building. And so it's a great resource for a lot of our incoming students, especially first year, kind of learning to develop these skills and understanding that you'll take it outside of UAB and into your future endeavors. And so we value this greatly. I know it's not every student's favorite topic. However, one day, and we've heard this from students before, a lot of these skills have been things that they've like been able to use honestly during their term at UAB. So definitely recommend, if you see any of these programs pop up through our social media or engage, definitely recommend your student to go to one of these. As well as parking. So parking is one of the biggest questions I get with these orientations. So I like to put it in our presentation and talk about it a little bit. So the parking registration opened up on June 1st. So if you know your student is a commuter student or is going to just need any sort of form of parking on campus, would definitely recommend that they get on that as soon as possible. I know not all the lots that are circled are available right now. However, the circled lots on this map are all off-campus lots. So these are essentially your options in terms of what you'll get if you register like on time. In a perfect world, essentially, if we were able to register on June 1st, but there's still a lot of availability with these parking spots. So definitely look into it. This QR code will take you to their website, their registration website, where you can register straight from there, and they'll essentially put you wherever parking lots are not filled yet. So yeah, and getting connected. So as off-campus students, this is a big responsibility, and I know everyone says this for students as a whole, but especially off-campus students, there's an extra edge to it all. I feel like there's a lot of it takes a little bit more intentionality on the student side of things, because obviously after a day of classes, student's immediate response might be, okay, I'm going home and I'm sleeping, or I'm going home and I'm doing this, and that's as great as that is. Sometimes we definitely recommend getting engaged on campus, getting involved, and that's what this committee is about. They're big advocates for off-campus housing, as well as just off-campus living as a whole as a student. Regardless, we have students that live in apartment complexes, we have students that live with their families, we have students that live honestly everywhere. We have some commuter students that travel a good bit to campus, and so we definitely we value this organization. They're one of two organizations that we have in our office, and would definitely recommend that your incoming off-campus students look out for their programs, as they'll have a lot of free food events, maybe craft events, fun game nights, anything of the sorts. And if they're looking to get involved in an organization, this is a great organization, especially as an off-campus student. They'll fit right in. So definitely recommend to look out for them this coming fall. They'll be at some of the beginning of the year events, so definitely look out for them. And Magic City Adventures. So what Magic City Adventures is, it's a program that we partner with a few different departments here in our student affairs department at UAB, where we'll bring students out to different events and festivals and activities in the city. This is a way for students at UAB to understand that their school doesn't stop at the campus lines. This is a community thing. Birmingham is very big on the connection between UAB and Birmingham. It can't, there's no one or the other, it's both. And so we definitely try to do our part by taking students out and you know ch- um exposing them to different historical things, different experiences that you might not get as a typical student. So this is for on and off campus students, but we definitely recommend, even if you're from the Birmingham area and you're like, oh, I already know all these things, or your student might say that, we definitely recommend we still try it out, because I actually heard this from one of our student council members. They said their biggest advice to off-campus students was, especially the students that are from the Birmingham area, to treat the city like it's a new city. Treat it like it's a new endeavor. And they said they learned so much from that. They were able to just take so much away from that. And so definitely recommend check out one of our Magic City events. We're actually programming some of them right now for the next year, but we in the past we've done a Birmingham Squadron game. I know they've done the Dia de los Muertos festival, as well as Sauce Furnace tours and the Birmingham District tour. So it varies, and we'll have some different ideas this year. And so if your student also has an idea, let us know. We'd love to get them involved in this. So yeah, and our off-campus lounge. So this is actually where me and Carmen's office is located. It's in our off-campus student family engagement office. But the lounge is just a general area where we like to open up for students. This is open from 8 to 5. 8 to 5 right now, 8 to 6 in the school year. And what it is, it's essentially just a safe space. We understand that students might be commuting from as far as an hour to sometimes an hour and a half. And so in between classes, when you have a break and you're kind of drained, or your students drained, we definitely recommend they come in here. This is for them. We really don't have many rules in here. There's TV, there's games, there's a snack bar, coffee bar, all free, of course. And so it's just a space for a student to do whatever they need to do in there, regardless if that's homework, regardless if that's take a nap or just hang out with friends. Anything's open. So we definitely recommend come check it out. As well as you'll find a lot of resources in there, like the off-campus guide I was referring to earlier, as well as a lot of pamphlets for off-campus housing as a whole. A lot of our off-campus partners will bring some information sheets out there, and we'll put them on our walls out there. And so it's a great place to find like resources, as well as find us, where we will also give you resources. So definitely check it out. Definitely recommend as incoming students, or if you have an incoming student, tell them to stop by, regardless if they need anything or not. Just stop by, grab a snack, sit down, do whatever you need to do. And in this same lounge, we actually offer tutoring. So this is great for especially incoming first year students because it's a lot of tutoring, a lot of the subjects that we offer in tutoring are a lot of the I guess like preliminary classes, first year classes, a lot of the ologies, so like biology, psychology, sociology. We have also do like general classes like math, chemistry. I think they also might do history as well. So there's a variety of options here, and so with a lot of families having incoming freshman students, and they might be taking a lot of these general classes, tutoring is a great resource. I cannot stress it enough. And we've actually seen a great increase in GPA with a lot of the students that take advantage of our lounge. So definitely recommend that. And it is also completely free of charge. This is powered through VMAS. I think that's what they're called, FreeMask. Yeah. And they are a tutoring program in the Birmingham area that sends out a tutor every week, every few days a week, and as long as all you have to do is schedule that through the lounge. You can come do it online, or you can come into the lounge and scan a QR code and do it. It'll take like 2 minutes, truly. So definitely recommend if your students looking for some tutoring, check that out. As well as Engage. Engage is our involvement platform. I would also recommend every student at least just familiarize themselves with this app, understand how to contact different organizations, how to learn more about organizations. They can find information on, I think our numbers are almost at 400 or 400 plus organizations here at UAB. So there's a lot to choose from, regardless if that's cultural organizations, educational, like volunteer service. There's a lot of options here, and like sports and such. So definitely recommend our incoming students to take advantage of this and check out Engage. And this was actually the statistic I was referring to earlier, where we've seen a pretty large growth in GPA, or the average GPA of a student that attends our lounge. And so regardless of if you're using the tutoring or not, the lounge is just a quiet, like pretty like sheltered place to do whatever you need to do, regardless if that's just kind of contain yourself or study or sleep or whatever, like I said. And follow us. This is the day and age of social media. So definitely recommend, if you want to stay up to date with all the programming from both of our organizations, as well as our department as a whole. Social media was definitely the best place to find it. We post everything on there in terms of events coming up, resources, tools, whatever it is. So definitely check us out. We're on Facebook and Instagram. And if you need any contact information, find it right here. But other than that, that is all we have from off-campus student engagement and housing. So and if your student, like I said, has any finds themselves wanting to live off campus and are looking for first steps or where to start, reach out, please. Carmen will have my email, of course. She works right next to me, so she definitely has it. However, yeah, so just reach out, feel free. Open door policy, like I said, no appointments needed. But yeah, thank you guys so much for attending.
Thank you, Ben. This is a lot of great information. And I know we have families, I've been looking at families on Facebook and here on Zoom that may be freshman families, but also they'll come to the time where your student will probably want to move off campus or may have the option of moving off campus. And that's a whole new experience. So both for families and for the students. So the off-campus student side of our office is there to support students in understanding all those leasing terms and terminologies and understanding how to navigate the experience of leasing or finding a place that's good for them. The lounge also, like Ben said, has the off-campus student lounge. And although it is called the off-campus student lounge, it is not necessarily limited to off-campus students. So if a student is between classes, it just needs a place to just regroup or study or meet with friends or just want a little cup of coffee and some snacks, our place is always there for everybody. And so everybody's welcome. If you have any questions at this moment, I know Bemet also mentioned the tutoring service that is available at the off-campus student lounge. So it is through VMask. And we had a webinar on Monday from VMask, and they talk about their tutoring service or supplemental instruction. And so if you missed that, you can go back on Facebook and watch it, and it'll be on our website next week. And so there are many different opportunities to revisit some of the webinars that you may have missed. Another one that we had in the spring, and which you can find on our website, uab.edu/families, under 2023 webinars, is the one on leasing 101. So Rent Monster, which Ben mentioned, did a webinar especially for students and families to understand the whole leasing process and what it entails. You know, when you move off campus and you start doing all those, you know, more grown-up adult things, you know, we're there to support students. So just reach out to us if you have any questions. The email for off campus is offcampus@uab.edu. And like I said, all the addresses at UAB are pretty easy. It's uab.edu/whatever office, and it'll take you to the website. So, and if you ever need anything, just don't hesitate to call us. The number is on the screen. So if you have any questions, this is the time to submit the questions through the Q&A or through the comment section. I'm monitoring both. So we just hope that this has been helpful. Just another couple of things to mention. We will be having more webinars as of July 11th. So we will have one on financial aid and One Stop and just how to manage money and understand the financial aspects. We'll also have one for with student support, disability and support services, if your student needs any specific accommodations or just to understand how it works in case they need that or they come with any accommodations from high school that they might need to bring with them. So we will help you with those aspects as well. So I'm monitoring both sections. We don't have any questions right now, but again, you can send them later. Is there any last minute thoughts, Bemet, that you would like to leave families with or anything that you would like to leave them with before we go?
Yeah. So I know we talked a lot about off-campus housing and just ways to get involved. However, our office is not limited to just housing and such. If your student's running into any issues as an off-campus student and kind of doesn't know where to go, I would definitely recommend come to our office. Definitely a great first step to figuring out a solution or trying to problem solve something they might be running into. And we can, I mean, I can't promise we'll always have an answer. However, we can definitely help develop the next step for them. So yeah, definitely we're open to anything. So y'all come visit us.
Awesome. Awesome. So we don't have any questions at the moment, but we are really grateful for those of you who have joined us on Zoom and both on Zoom and Facebook. So go back to our website, uab.edu/families, look at webinars under communications tab, look at webinars 2024, and you'll find the webinars we've already had. We've already had about, well, with this one would be 14, and we're missing several after July 11th. So go back and revisit. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call us. And with that, we just want to wish everybody a great rest of your evening. And thank you for joining us tonight and for spending some time with us. So have a great rest of your evening, everybody. And thank you, Bemet, for being with us.
Sure. Thank you.